Means that do it. Burger
Welcome to the third hour of Air Checks. Abbott and Costello were an American comedy duo composed of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, whose work on radio and in film and television made them the most popular comedy team of the 1940s and early 1950s. Their patter routine "Who's on First?" is one of the best-known comedy routines of all time, and set the framework for many of their best-known comedy bits. Bud Abbott, 1897 to 1974, was a veteran burlesque entertainer from a show business family. He started in burlesque box offices as a treasurer around 1918, and eventually managed and produced touring burlesque companies before becoming a performer. He worked as a straight man with his wife Betty, then with veteran burlesque comedians such as Harry Stepp and Harry Evanson. Lou Costello, 1906 to 1959, became a burlesque comic in 1928 after failing to break into movie acting and working as a stunt double and film extra. He appears briefly in the 1927 Laurel and Hardy silent two-reeler, The Battle of the Century, seated at ringside during Stan Laurel's ill-fated boxing match. As a teenager, Costello had been an amateur boxer in his hometown of Paterson, New Jersey. Costello's first appearance in burlesque was in Street Joseph, Missouri. He joined the Mutual Burlesque Will in 1929, and Minsky's in 1932. While they crossed paths a few times, the two comedians first worked together in 1935 at the El Tinge Burlesque Theater on 42nd Street in New York City. This performance came about when Costello's regular partner became ill. Other performers in the show, including Abbott's wife Betty, encouraged a permanent pairing. The duo built an act by refining and reworking numerous burlesque sketches with Abbott as the devious straight man and Costello as the dim-witted comic. Abbott and Costello came across a lot of good horror actors in their radio shows, including Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi, and Peter Lorre. Here's the episode, A Visit with Peter Lorre's Sanitorium, as broadcasted on the American Forces Radio Service on January 13, 1944.
Costello, where have you been? Look at you. Your clothes are dripping wet. Your shoes. What happened to you?
Oh, I stopped to get a drink at the faucet outside the street.
Faucet?
Yeah.
You dummy, that's no faucet. That's a fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant?
Yes.
No wonder I went halfway to Pomona by gutter.
Ah.
Gee. I gotta get these wet clothes off.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get...
Now, what's the matter? Please, how many times have I told you when you sneeze the other way?
I don't know any other way.
Please, talk sense, will you? Do you realize you've probably caught a cold? Do you want the germs to spread?
Oh, I won't let them spread.
How can you keep germs from spreading?
I'll make them wear a girdle.
Oh. Now, that's ridiculous. You've got a cold in your head. How are you going to keep that cold in your head from going down into your chest?
I'll tie a knot in my neck. Yeah, but what are you talking about? You're not so healthy.
Oh, I'll have you know, my friend, that I keep regular hours. Every night I go to bed with the chickens.
How do you all get in that little coop?
No, I'm trying to tell you that I go to bed early, and I'm up at the crack of dawn. Then I go out and chop wood for breakfast.
Chop wood for breakfast? How can you eat that stuff?
Listen, Costello, I chop wood for exercise. For example, every morning I jump out of bed and crawl around the room on all fours.
You crawl around on all fours?
Yes, that's the athlete in me.
Athlete? That's the monkey in you, brother.
Oh, hey, here's Ken Niles. Say, I'm glad you dropped in, Ken. Take a look at Costello. He doesn't feel very well.
Oh, just let some of the air out of his head. He'll be all right.
I mean, you got a lot of nerve there, Niles. I mean, talking like that. Well, with such a swell head like you got.
Oh, I'll have you know I'm not swell-headed.
Oh, yeah? You're the only guy I know who gets the mumps above the ears.
Now, take it easy, Costello. You're a sick man.
Who's a sick man? I'm all right. I just got a little... Ah!
Good heavens, Bud. Did you hear Costello sneeze?
What's wrong with the way I sneeze with a little thing like that? What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? Well, if you have to sneeze, why don't you sneeze with your mouth closed?
I tried that once and blew out 3 of my teeth.
Now, wait a minute, Costello. Your sneezing is dangerous. I can catch your cold, then go home and my beautiful wife will get it in her lovely throat.
Her lovely throat?
Yes, Costello. Mrs. Niles has a neck like a swan.
Yes, and she's got webbed feet to match.
Oh, I heard that remark. And Mr. Costello, you might be interested in knowing that all my friends think I have perfect features.
Is that your nose, or are you looking through a periscope?
Oh, stop that. Don't pay any attention to Costello, Mrs. Niles. You see, he's got a cold and we're trying to help him.
Well, you know the old saying, starve a cold. Now, the first thing to do is to put him on a diet. No carbohydrates, no starches, no liquids, and no solids. You think you can stick to that diet, Costello?
Sure. Then what?
Then Kenneth and I'll split your rations.
Oh, nice going. I heard you the first time. You're going to split it.
Oh, it was almost a wonderful joke, Poochie.
Oh, don't say that, darling. You're my Poochie.
No, you're my Poochie.
No, you're my Poochie.
If there's a dog catcher in the house, what are you waiting for?
Come, Kenneth. And as for you, Costello, I hope your cold is nothing trivial.
Well, I don't blame them for going out. The only way to avoid the flu is to flee.
What's that?
I mean, you've got to flee flu.
Gotta flee flu. What kind of talk is that?
I'm trying to tell you the only way to be free from flu is to flee when flu flies. When there's flu, everybody flees.
Did you say fleas?
Certainly. I flee, you flee, he flees, she flees.
What I got, a cold or a flea circus?
You don't understand. To avoid the flu, you've got to flee.
I gotta flee. Get him off of me then. Get him off. I don't want any fleas.
No. I don't mean fleas like flies.
Oh, let the fleas like flies. I don't want to break up no romance.
Look, it has nothing to do with fleas and flies. I'm trying to tell you, to avoid the flu, you must flee. The only way to be free from flu is to flee when flu flies.
Oh, you mean that to be free from flu, I gotta flee when flu flies. And the fleas and flies have got nothing to do with the flu.
Now you've got it.
Now I've got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, let me put it this way. You're in the house. You open the window, and a cold germ comes in.
A cold germ comes in?
Yes. What would you do?
I'd give him a cup of hot tea. Who wants a slipping germ on the house?
Now, that's crazy. This cold germ attacks you and immediately starts to germinate. Before you know it, you've got a lot of nasty germs rushing through your system.
According to my system, the Russians are rushing through the Nazi Germans.
Well, that's true, Costello, but I'm talking about flu germs. Do you realize that germs travel with the speed of light? Now, one little sneeze... What? There you are. There you are. The germs are off. They've already traveled from California to Maine. They are now crossing the Atlantic.
I didn't even say goodbye to him.
Costello, right now, at this very minute, someone in Europe is catching your cold.
Hello?
Meine Freunde, das letzte Mal, alle Schweine hier letzte Gottes Willen, der Hufen, Schweine und alle zusammen.
Well, I sure fixed it out.
What do you mean?
He's just sneezing now. The coffin will come later.
Rich and the orchestra dress up an old favorite, Alone Together.
Bells are ringing for me and my gal. The birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody's been knowing to a wedding we're going, and for weeks they've been sewing every Susie and Sam. They're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm gonna build a little home for two, for three or four or more in love land for me and my gal. Congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm gonna build a little home for two, for three or four, or maybe more in love land for me and my gal.
Now, listen, Abbott, I'm telling you, I haven't got the flu. Now, get me out of this bed. Now, come on, get me out.
Now, stop that screaming, Costello. You want me? Just pull that cord by the bed.
Oh, I did.
And what happened?
My pajamas fell down. Now, Abbott, if I had to stay in bed, why didn't you give me some attention?
What are you talking about? Didn't I put some cracked ice on your head?
Yeah, but you didn't have to wait till you got the ice on my head before you cracked it. Now, Abbott, for the last time, I'm telling you, what am I doing in bed?
Well, it's part of the health building course I got from Professor Hercules. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to get out of bed at 5 o'clock. Then at 5:10...
Back in bed.
No. At 5:10, you jump into a nice cold shower.
And I whistle.
You don't whistle.
I gotta whistle.
Why?
Well, there's no lock on the bathroom door.
Look, pay attention. At 5:10, you jump into the shower. Can't you just feel the ice-cold water running down your back? Huh? Now, stop that. Stop that.
It's cold.
Stop it. Then at 5:20...
Back in bed with a hot water bottle.
Listen. At 5:20, you take a bouncing horseback ride. 5:40...
Back in bed, face down.
Then at 6 o'clock, an hour of wrestling. 7 o'clock, 2 hours of handball. 9 o'clock, you walk 30 miles with a heavy pack on your back. And 12 to 1, you climb a mountain.
12 to 1, I don't make it.
Oh, you idiot. You never listen to me. Just wait till you see Hercules. Exercise has given him bulging biceps, rippling muscles, a massive chest. He's the strongest man in the world, the mighty Hercules. Come in.
I am the mighty Hercules. Honest I am. Honest.
See, Costello? Take a look at Hercules. Get a load of that muscle.
What muscle? The last time I saw a muscle like that was on a sparrow's ankle. You know, I could chalk his head and use him for a pool cue.
Hey, Costello.
Well, he reminds me of a radio program I heard. One man's famine.
Mr. Costello, as I analyze your case, my treatment for you should not be postponed. Let me show you what my course can do for you. Hand me the telephone book and I will tear it. Are you ready? And now the second page.
Now, look, Hercules, what's so great about that? I can bend bars with my bare hand.
Costello, now don't be silly. You're talking to the mighty Hercules.
Yeah, Mr. Costello, I'm a master muscle.
You're a mess of something, brother. And while I'm on the subject, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just feel my muscle.
Where is it? All I can feel is one little corpuscle.
Yeah, but ain't it got a hard head? Look, Abbott, for the last time I tell you there's nothing wrong with me. Now you got to get me out of this bed. Now give me a lift.
All right. What was that?
I got my nose caught in the bed spring.
Come in.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Peter Lorre. Oh, Mr. Costello, I've come here to offer you the services of my sanitarium. I understand your health is run down.
Now, wait a minute, Lorre. Who told you all this?
Oh, nobody. You see, I get messages through my brain. My mind is like an open door.
What do you hear from the knob?
Quiet, Costello. Let me handle this. Mr. Lorre, you say you have a private sanitarium?
Oh, yes, and it's just the place for Mr. Costello. It is out in the woods, in a very lonely spot, where he can get away from it all. Far, far away.
I don't want to get that far away. Get me close to the town now. Get a lot of people around me, too. Ring those bells. Blow those horns. Blow those horns.
Please, please.
Noise. I got to have it. When you're around, I got to have noise.
But please, Mr. Costello, you're scaring me.
I'm scaring you.
Costello, there's no sense in shouting.
That's right, Mr. Costello. Let us speak low.
I don't want to speak low. I always talk loud. Hooray! Happy New Year! Get around, everybody. Here's some John Charles Thomas. On the road to Mandela.
Just a minute, please. You're going people at the wrong place. That's enough.
Hey, they like it.
Yeah, never mind. Look, pay no attention to him.
This Frank Sinatra.
Will you? Never mind. Pay no attention to him, Mr. Lorre. I'll bring Costello out to your sanitarium tonight.
Oh, yes, please. And at midnight, I hope. When the moon is down.
No, tomorrow when the sun is up. Way up! When do you like, brother? Lots of lights. We're going to turn on a searchlight.
Costello, you're acting like an idiot.
Yes, Mr. Costello. I have had thousands of patients at my sanitarium, and I've never had one of them complain. You know what that proves, don't you?
Yes, sir. Dead men tell no tales.
Connie Haynes sings the new hit tune, I Couldn't Sleep Awake Last Night.
I couldn't sleep awake last night because we had that silly fight. I thought my heart would break the whole night through. I I knew that you'd be sorry, and I'm sorry too. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last night. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which to hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
And now back to Abbott and Costello, who are en route to Peter Lorre's Sanitorium. The time is midnight.
Well, Costello, we'll be at Peter Lorre's Sanitorium in a minute. He's a great doctor, Costello. He'll see that you get some rest and peace.
That's what bothers me. I don't want to rest in peace.
Quiet. Listen, a friend of mine was just about to die, and Dr. Lorre pulled him over the hump.
Which way?
Well, here it is. Peter Lorre Sanatorium, 1313 Gravesend Road.
What an address! Look at the sign on the gate. Deliver all bodies in the rear.
All right, now stop complaining. Look how quiet and peaceful it is out here.
That's the first robin I've heard this spring.
Oh,
Shut up. Quite a part, wasn't it?
you know, Lou, this is the kind of a place I've always wanted to visit. Look at that green stuff clean to the gate.
That green stuff. Me!
Now, don't be such a coward. Go ahead up to the door and knock.
Oh, so you think I'm a coward, huh? Okay, yeah, but I'll prove to you I'm a hero. I'll be brave. I'll show you what I'm made of. I'll knock on the door. I'll go in there. But before I do it, there's just one thing I want you to do for me.
What's that?
Talk me out of it.
Now, none of that. Go ahead. Knock on the door. Don't be afraid. Why, Peter Lorre may not even be at home.
He's home, all right.
How do you know?
I see a straitjacket hanging on the line.
Costello, once and for all, will you please knock on the door?
Okay. All right.
How do you do, gentlemen? Did you ring? No, I knocked. I thought I heard you whistle. Let me have your hat, please.
Don't you want the coat, too?
No, just the hat.
Just the hat. Who are you?
I'm a skull. I'm just going out for a walk.
Come on, Abbott. That's all. Let's get out of here!
Shh, quiet. Here comes Peter Lorre.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to my sanitarium. Now come, Mr. Costello. Let me take you over here, close to the fire.
Come on, no pushing, Lorre. Quit shoving. Hey, Abbott, help me now. Come on, help me out of here.
Costello.
The guy's pushing me on the fire.
No, nothing of the kind. What's the matter with you?
Yes, I mean you no harm. It's cold out tonight. You must be killed. Chilled.
I heard you the first time, brother. Get what I'm calling brother.
Please do not excite yourself, Mr. Costello. All I want you to do is to take a pill.
I'm not taking no pill. I'm taking a powder. Now! Come on, Abbott.
Wait a minute, Costello. If you want to cure your cold, you've got to listen to Dr. Lorre.
Abbott, I'm not sick. All I did was let out a little a sneeze.
You see, you must not minimize your illness. Here, take this little blue pill.
I ain't taking no pill.
You heard the man. Take the blue pill.
Oh, you always went out. Okay.
Oh, very good. Now take this red pill.
What's the red pill for?
Oh, that's in case the blue pill was poison.
Get away with those pills, Mr. Lorre, will you?
Just a minute. Be calm. Take it easy. Relax.
I don't want to relax. I want to jump. Come on, everybody. Get up. Let's dance. Come on. I'll leave you with this guy.
You see, Doctor? You see, Doctor?
Sounds like I'm alone.
You see, Doctor, I told you that Costello was in bad shape. What he really needs is some exercise.
Oh, splendid. Let's go out and play some golf.
Golf? At midnight?
Oh, yes. Oh, last night I played a fine game with my friend Frankenstein.
Now, there's a gruesome twosome.
Oh, it was a very interesting game. Frankenstein made a hole in one, so I buried him in it. You know, I play a very hot game.
Hot game? You probably play in the lower Hades. The lower Hades.
Oh, doctor.
Excuse me, please. That's one of my patients.
Oh, doctor. I just killed my keeper.
Yeah?
I just killed my keeper.
Well, but why did you kill him?
He killed me first.
Hey, Abbott, now that guy wasn't kidding. Now, there's a body behind the couch.
Is he dead?
I can't tell. His head is missing.
Hey, Costello, look. The body is getting up.
Abbott, he's coming towards me. Listen, mister. You're dead, ain't you?
Yes, I am dead.
Then why aren't you laying down?
If you must know, the floor is too cold.
That's the last straw. I'm getting out of here.
Now, stop worrying. There's nothing wrong with this place. What was that? 1 o'clock. Let's go.
Mr. Costello, I think you're running a temperature. I must call my assistant.
Who's your assistant, Dracula?
Oh, no. I'm mad at him. I caught him stealing from my blood bank.
Dr. Lorre, the operating table's all ready.
What? What operating table? You ain't operating on me. I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry?
You heard me. I don't want any cold cuts.
Oh, I must insist, Mr. Costello. My diagnosis shows that the sneeze caused your cold, which caused poison to run through your system. This has affected your appendix, and your appendix must come out. Put him on the operating table, boys.
The first guy that touches me gets a fat lip.
Now, that's no way to talk.
You must follow your doctor's advice if you ever expect to get well.
Okay, then. Lorre, I'll let you take out my appendix on one condition.
Good. What's the condition?
You gotta take it out from the back.
From the back? From the back?
That's right.
But why?
Because I got a battleship tattooed on my stomach. And he is liable to sink it.
Ah, get out.
And now, here's Abbott and Costello with the final word.
Thanks, Ken. Well, Peter Lorre, it certainly was nice to have you with us tonight.
Yes, I certainly
That's not
did.
your line, please.
Excuse me.
Oh, thank you, Bud. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Costello. I hope you didn't mind coming to my sanitarium. You should come again sometime.
I will. On Visitor's Day.
Oh, another thing, Mr. Costello. You should take care of your cold. You see, flu flies, and in order to be free from flu, you must flee when flu flies.
Say it again, Lorre.
All right, I will.
I mean without the script.
Oh, get out of here. Good night, folks. Good night, everybody. Good night, Mom.
Here is another Abbott and Costello classic. This one is entitled, A Night in a Haunted House, is broadcasted from the American Forces radio service on May 8, 1947.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
It's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood tonight for your listening pleasure. Hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Hey, Costello, come here. Come over here. Why are you late again?
Well, Abbott, I stopped at the music store to get one of our records of our baseball routine. But there was a guy in there ahead of me and bought every one they had.
Who was it?
Leo DeRosa. He wants to find out who's out first.
Well, all right.
But Happy Chandler won't tell him.
All right, well, all right, forget about it. Look,
Boy,
how are you doing on that job I got you last week?
Oh, forget that.
What do you mean?
The job?
Yeah.
Well, I worked there 5 days, and the man fired me.
5 days. Isn't that pretty short notice?
George, I defy anybody to find out how dumb I am in 5 days.
Well,
Defy anybody!
All right. Have it your own way.
I'm a dope, and that's
I
that.
know. That should teach you. You know, that should teach you the value of education, Lou.
Huh?
That should teach you the value of education.
Education?
Yes. Did you graduate from college?
No.
High school?
No.
Grade school?
No. You're getting hot.
Well, now, wait a minute. Doesn't that make you an ignoramus?
No, but it sure helps. Anyhow, Abbott, my folks couldn't afford to send me to school. We were so poor, my mother used to send me out on the street to beg for a piece of whole wheat bread.
Why whole wheat bread?
We were poor, but we were proud. But I had a happy childhood, Abbott. You did? Every morning I'd take my father's hand and we'd walk to school together. And then at 4 o'clock I'd call for him and take him home again.
That's all your
My
money.
old man was going to school. I'd take him home.
And I know. Costello, your mother must have had a struggle with that family. But now you can make up to her. You can make up for everything. Remember that Sunday is Mother's Day.
That's right, Abbott. Next Sunday is Mother's Day.
Oh, then you do remember Mother's Day.
Sure, my mother always sends me something.
Why, you idiot, you're supposed to send your mother something. Now, last year I sent my mother a check for $100. By the way, that reminds me, I never did get that check back from the bank.
No, but I'll bet your mother did.
Please, hey, no remarks like that, Costello. My checks are good. I have plenty of money. Why, it cost me $10,000 a year just to live.
Abbott, it ain't worth it.
No, it's not. Never mind that. What are you going to send your mother this year?
I think I'll get her a brand new 1947 Cadillac.
Where can you get a 1947 Cadillac?
You can get all you want of them from the Cadillac Company if you're a property owner.
Well, no, but what kind of property do you have to own?
The Cadillac Company.
You idiot. You haven't got enough money to buy a new car.
Oh, no? Then I'll send her my collection of rare coins. I got it right here. Look, Abbott.
2 quarters, 3 dimes, and a nickel. Well, these are not rare coins.
With me, they are. Abbott, will you let me $10 to buy my mom a nice present?
No, I will not. If you need money, I know where you can get $1,000 just for spending the night in a haunted house.
Good. That's just the kind of job I've been... What's the matter? What kind of house did you say that was?
A haunted house. You see, the owner wants to sell it, and he's willing to give $1,000 to the first man that would spend the night there to break the spell. You know, the spell of the ghost.
Abbott, I ain't going to get mixed up with no ghosts.
What do you mean?
When people stop walking and talking, I'm through with them.
No.
I am not that dopey.
Costello, a ghost is not real. When you see a ghost, you see an apparition.
Abbott, when I had my operation for appendicitis, all I saw was a doctor and a beautiful nurse.
No. Costello, I'm not talking about an operation. I'm talking about an apparition. Apparition like in hallucination.
Abbott, what in hallucination are you talking about?
Costello, I'm talking about ghosts. Spooks to you.
Abbott, that ghost may spook to me, but I ain't spooking to him. I ain't holding no conversation with no strange ghost.
You nitwit, you can't speak to a ghost.
No, you just said the ghost spooked to me.
You idiot. A spook is a ghost. You have nothing to be afraid of because of the ghost is the house. You see, the house is only a room.
Boy, well, what'd you say? And I really mean, what did you say?
I said the ghost in the house is only a rumor.
I wouldn't care if he was the landlord.
Now, look, you dummy. This ghost is a rumor. A rumor is a tale, a vicious tale.
That did it. I ain't going to no house where there's a ghost with a vicious tail.
No. Listen, Costello, I'm trying to explain to you what a ghost is. Now, let's take, for example, a ghost motion picture. Did you see the ghost picture that Irene Dunn did?
Dunn did?
Yeah.
What kind of talk is that? You mean Dunn?
No. Look, Costello, Irene Dunn did a picture, a ghost picture. Did you see the picture that Irene Dunn did?
Look at it. If Irene Dunn did it, I done saw it. You all?
Oh, no. Costello, please. Will you listen to me? I'm talking about the star Irene Dunn. Now, you know that Dunn does pictures.
Dunn does them? Well, shut my mouth. I didn't know that Dunn does them. I thought that does them. Does everything. Yeah!
Now, look, Costello, I'm talking about the ghost picture that Irene Dunn did. When I say that Irene Dunn did a picture, I don't mean that Irene Dunn done a picture. I mean that Irene Dunn did a picture, and the picture that Dunn did is what Dunn's done.
Oh, when you say that Irene Dunn did a picture, you don't mean that Irene Dunn done a picture. You mean that Irene Dunn did a picture, and the picture that Dunn did is what Dunn's done.
Now you've got it.
Now I've got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Skinny Ennis with Mamselle. a small cafe, Mademoiselle, our rendezvous, Mademoiselle. The violins were warm and sweet, and so were you, Mademoiselle. And as the night danced on, a kiss became a song. Your lovely eyes seemed to sparkle just like wonder. No heart ever yearned the way that mine does for you. And yet I know too well, someday you say goodbye, then violins will cry, and so will I, and lovely eyes seem to sparkle just like wonder. No heart ever yearned the way that mine does for you. And yet I know too well, someday you say goodbye, when violins will cry, and so will I.
Well, Costello, have you been thinking about taking that job in the haunted house? That $1,000 would buy your mother a nice present for Mother's Day.
Yes, Abbott, I've been thinking of the ghost all day. I even went to see the ghost picture that Irene Dunn did. There's an old guy in that picture that takes beautiful girls into the haunted house, and they're never seen again.
That old man must be a fiend.
He may be a fiend, but he ain't no dope. Well, I continue here.
Oh, yes.
You should have seen what went on in the haunted house. In the first scene, there's a gunshot and a body.
Murder?
Murder. In the second scene, there's a gunshot and another body.
Murder?
Murder. In the third scene is a beautiful blonde sweater girl.
Murder?
Murder!
Well, never mind that. Hey, here's the office of the real estate broker who is offering that reward to the man who will spend the night in the haunted house. Costello, you're going to earn that money, and you can send $1,000 to your mother.
Yes. My mother could use that money to help one of our relatives get cured of a nervous breakdown.
Who's the relative with the nervous breakdown?
After I spend the night in that haunted house, me.
Nonsense. We're going in there and get you that job.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Well, my friend Costello wants to spend the night in your haunted house and earn that $1,000.
Ah, yes. As the cow said to the farmer with the big hands, boy, what a jerk. Now, tell me, Costello, have you ever had any experience with ghosts?
Oh, sure. One time I saw a whole flock of ghosts sitting around a campfire.
What were they doing?
Telling people stories.
Oh, good. Well, then, Costello, you'll take the job?
Not me. I ain't spending the night in the haunted house.
Costello, you're not afraid of ghosts. You're not a spineless jellyfish. You're not a sissy britches. You're not a cringing yellow coward.
You want to bet?
Mr. Brown, Costello will take the job.
Oh, goody. Costello, the job is yours. Here's the address of the haunted house. And as Skinny Ennis said to Marilyn Maxwell, here's the key. Well, I'll see you tomorrow morning, I hope.
Well, come on, Costello. Let's go across the street to that bookstore, and I'll buy you a book on how to handle ghosts. Look out. Look out for that car, Costello. Look out. Well, what do you know? He stopped for us.
Must be an Easterner.
Hiya, fellas.
Why, Skinny Ennis. Skinny, Costello's going to spend the night in the haunted house.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
You know, our house used to be haunted. It was haunted by the ghost of a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, you're nuts, Skinny. How could a bottle of bourbon can't die?
Oh, no? I was there the night my father killed it. Abbott, if that Skinny ever becomes a ghost, he won't need a sheet. An empty tea bag would cover him.
Never mind him. Let's go into the bookstore.
Pardon me, miss.
That lady over there where the ghost books are.
I saw her. Pardon me, miss. Could you tell me where we...
Well, if it isn't Mr. Abbott and Mr. Costello. You fought, little mon, you.
Well, miss. What are you doing here in the bookstore?
Oh, I just roped in to bruise among the best schoolers.
Best Schulers? Oh, Abbott, you know what best Schulers are. That's like Farufer Umbor and How Grun Was My Bully.
By any chance, have you read Uncle Toombs a Kubin?
Youse? But I prefer the three little cuttons who lost their muttons.
Well, I must be toddling along. As we say in Siamese, Olisaki pulakata sisa in kesi to you.
And an old sock full of cottage cheese and a kisser to you, too.
Come on, Costello. Come on. Let's look for the ghost book. Hey, say, there's Marilyn.
Ah, lovely Marilyn Oldsmobile.
Marilyn Oldsmobile? You mean Marilyn Maxwell?
Abbott, did you ever see a Maxwell with a chassis like that?
Hello, Mr. Abbott. Hello, Louis, darling.
Marilyn, darling, every time I see you, my heart goes pitter-patty. Knock, knock, pitter-patter.
Wait a minute.
Knock, knock.
What's the knock for?
My engine always knocks when it's warming up.
Quiet, Costello. Marilyn, Costello's going to make $1,000 by spending the night in a haunted house.
Oh, Louis, aren't you afraid?
Afraid of what?
Well, suppose while you're sitting there in that haunted house, an ugly, old, decrepit, hideous face should appear before you.
That's one thing I don't have to worry about. Abbott's got a date tonight.
All right. Come on, Costello. We've got to get that ghost book. Come on.
Louis, you remember the last time we met in this bookstore? When the clerk wasn't looking, you kissed me.
Mm-hmm. Shame on you, Costello, making love to Marilyn in a public bookstore. Where did you kiss her?
Between the novels and the natural history.
Louis, would you like for me to come and sit with you tonight in that haunted house?
I couldn't let you do that, darling. Suppose a ghost should come up and put his arms around you.
Oh, a ghost wouldn't do that. Every ghost has his own ghoul friend. Bye now.
Well, come on, Costello. It's getting dark. We've got to get over to that haunted house. Well, Costello, here's the haunted house.
Brother, what a spooky-looking joint.
What's the matter?
Abbott, there's a big black thing following me.
You dope, that's your shadow.
Yeah? Then why ain't it doing what I'm doing?
Never mind that. Open the door.
Abbott, it's dark in here. I ain't gonna stay in this house.
Oh, don't be silly, Costello. There's nothing to be scared about.
Careful, Costello. Don't step on that cat's tail.
Okay, Abbott. Abbott? Abbott, who said that?
I told you not to step on that cat's tail.
I don't see any cat.
There is no cat, just the tail.
Abbott! Get me out of here!
Come back here, Costello. Come back here. Marilyn sings.
Beware, my heart, you're getting in too deep. Take care, my heart, this is a bit too steep. Don't listen to the lilt of his lovely laughter, or you will cry forever after. Beware, my heart. of night when he is near, loaded with dynamite, and you can never finish a dream. You weren't meant to start. Beware, take care, my dynamite, and you can never finish a dream. You weren't meant to start. Beware, take care, my heart.
Well, come on, Costello. It's almost 12 o'clock midnight. Now, if you want to get that $1,000, you'd better get inside that haunted house and stay there until morning.
Abbott, there must be something awful wrong with that house.
Why?
It's been vacant 2 years. Not even a veteran has tried to rent it. Hey, Abbott, look.
What's the matter?
I see two hands in front of me. Now they're coming together. What is it? 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock. Na 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 na. Close some watch time.
That must be Pacific Ghost Time. Hey, Abbott, I'm getting out of here. There's a guy I want to see outside. Oh, me. See you later.
Come back here, you sissy.
Look over there, Abbott. There's a ghost in the corner. I think it's a lady ghost.
What makes you think it's a lady ghost?
Wearing a low-cut sheet. I'm getting out of here now.
Shame on you, you coward. Only a baby would be afraid of a ghost. Abbott, please pass me the pablum.
Hello, boys. I'm a ghost. Wait a minute. If you're a ghost, what's your sheet? You're wearing a blanket. It gets cold at night in California, kid.
Abbott! Abbott! Abbott!
What's the matter with you,
Look,
Costello?
Abbott. There's one of those spooks coming up the stairs now.
Hey, wait a minute. Costello, you're right.
Look.
But don't worry. I know how to break the spell of the ghost. You must pull the sheet off their face. Now, I'll sneak around in the back of it, and you pull the sheet off.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, all right, then. You pull the sheet off, and I'll sneak around in the back.
That's better. Wait a minute. That's the same thing.
Wait, Costello. Grab the sheet off the ghost. Costello, it's Mrs. Wetwash.
Abbott, put the sheet back on.
Why, Mr. Abbott, what are you doing in this haunted house with that horrible Halloween pumpkin? Oh, pardon me, it's Costello.
I wish you hadn't said that, Mrs. Whitwash. Only today I was telling Abbott what sparkling white teeth you had.
Oh, did you notice them when I smiled?
No, I passed your house this morning. They were hanging on a clothesline.
Quiet, Costello. Mrs. Wetwash, what are you doing in this haunted house masquerading as a ghost?
Boys, I'm going to take you into my confidence. Come here. I'm going to reveal a secret that nobody else knows.
Maybe she's going to tell us her right age.
Quiet, Costello. What is it, Mrs. Wetwash?
Well, Costello, are you sure you can keep a secret?
Certainly. I saw that new picture last night, and I wouldn't even tell anybody why George Hapley was late.
All right, I'll tell you. You see, this house isn't really haunted.
No?
It's just me playing the part of a monster-faced ghost.
That's the best piece of casting we've had on this show all season.
You shut up, Costello. Mrs. Wetwash, why do you haunt this house?
Well, because I don't want anyone to buy it. My late husband, Herman Wetwash, once owned this house, and he hid a treasure map somewhere in this room. Now, if you boys will help me find that map, we can dig up the treasure and split it, and we'll each get a third.
Okay, but remember, Abbott, I want my full third. 20%.
Costello, we'll help Mrs. Wetwad. We can each take turns haunting the house until the map is found. Costello, you take the first 8-hour shift.
Good. I'll... Wait a minute. Why should I take the first 8-hour shift?
All right. So, Mr. Abbott, you take the first shift, and Costello, you can come next door to my house, and we'll go into the parlor and net.
Well, you talked me into it.
Oh, you're coming with me?
No, I'm taking the first shift. Well, I've been sitting here by myself in the dark for hours, but the darkness doesn't frighten me. Being alone doesn't frighten me. All this silence doesn't frighten me. That frightens me.
Hey, Abbott! Abbott!
That must be Abbott coming. He must have heard me. Hey, Abbott, I'm in here. Hey, Abbott, you're all dressed up like a ghost. Where did you learn to walk on the ceiling like that? Look at Abbott. He's walking on the ceiling. He's walking on the ceiling?
That ain't Abbott! That's the ghost! Get me out of here!
Don't be frightened. Don't be frightened, little fat man. I'm a kind ghost. I never hurt anybody. I can't help it if I'm a ghost.
Oh, you seem all right. Tell me, how did you become a ghost?
Well, up until 3 weeks ago, I was a man just like you, and I had no place to live. I looked and looked and looked for a house, and finally I located this house. And when I found out it was vacant, I dropped dead.
That's a sad story. That's really a sad story, but my Uncle Mike became a ghost under very similar circumstances.
He did?
Yes, he spent 3 years tunneling his way out of San Quentin and came up in the gas chamber.
Gee, that's sad, too.
Yeah.
But I wish you'd do me a favor. There's a very ugly woman that keeps running through this house every night, and I'm afraid of it. None of us speaks will spook to her.
You mean none of you spooks will speak to her?
Now, don't tell me how to do a routine. I used to do jokes with a skeleton.
You have to pay her much money?
7 bones a week.
Must have been red skeletons. 7
But
bones
tell
a
me,
week,
Mr.
eh?
Costello, who is that woman that comes here every night?
Oh, that's Mrs. Whitwash. She's looking for the treasure map. Her late husband hid in this room.
Oh, that old thing. It's over there behind the 3rd loose brick in the fireplace.
Oh, thanks. I'll get the map and I'll take it to her right away. 3rd loose brick. Here it is. Here it is. Hey, Abbott. Mrs. Whitwash. I found the map. I found the map.
Wait a minute. Here we are. Here we are, Costello.
Oh, look, Mr. Abbott, he's found the map. Oh, Costello, this is wonderful. I'll call the man and tell him that he can sell the house right away. Now, meet me in the garden, and we'll dig up the treasure and split it.
Hey, Costello, are you sure you're reading that map right? We've dug up this whole garden and we've found no treasure.
Oh, Costello, let me see that map.
Here it is. Read it for yourself. It says take 2 steps forward, 2 steps to the right, and 3 steps back.
Let me see that.
Here you are.
Take 2 steps forward, 2 steps to the right, and 3 steps back. Why, you whale-wasted, what-brained weasel? This is no treasure map. This is a dancing lesson from Arthur Murray. Oh, I'm ruined. What am I going to do now?
Shall we dance?
Oh, get him out of
Well, that's it for this episode of Airchecks. Tune in the next episode where we will feature more of Halloween-themed episodes right here on Airchecks. Airchecks is a 3-hour podcast split into 3 one-hour segments and uploaded every Saturday and Sunday. See you on the same time and same channel.